What's up everybody, this is Derek here, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at another interesting drop or loot location in Miramar, the new desert map that was introduced to PUBG Mobile 0.5.0 in the latest global update. And for those of you asking about tips and tricks and guides on weapons and those sorts of videos, don't worry, those will be coming. However, with the Miramar update not even a week in, I figured let's focus some more on some drop locations for this map, because especially for those of you who haven't played the PC version, it may feel a little overwhelming when it comes to where to drop to do well, set yourself up for the mid to late game and succeed. So I'm going to be calling this a hidden location, although it isn't hidden the same way the mines are. This is more hidden in that people don't realize that you can actually drop here and that the loot is pretty good. And I'm talking about the two islands to the east of the main landmass of Miramar. So you think Miramar and you think, dry desert map, and that's generally correct. However, there is water on the east as well as the south side of the landmass, and there are two larger islands to the east of the landmass that you can actually drop on. Now, of course, it depends on where the plane's flight path is, whether or not you can actually reach these. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the top island. I'll probably make a video about the bottom one too, just because the loot strategy is a little different between them. However, either one of these can be a pretty decent loot location, mostly for solo, potentially for duo too. I wouldn't go here if I was part of a squad, mainly because the biggest disadvantage is you are generally not in the first circle, and you have to get to the main landmass. And well, that involves a boat, and boats don't always spawn, so sometimes you're left swimming across, which leaves you very exposed. That's the main disadvantage. Other than that though, I mean, you'll see that the loot is pretty decent for what it is. There's a lot of it here. Like I said, at least enough for duos. I don't think there's enough for squads, honestly, but lots of decent mid-tier loot to be had. So like I said, we're going to be focusing on the northernmost island today. The little one to the south, that third tiny island, is not worth dropping on. There's not enough stuff there. However, either one of these, either this island or the one immediately to the south, is pretty decent. So I'm going to start out in these two warehouses just because they tend to have the most loot. And well, wow, look at that. Military vest right away, level 3. So this doesn't always happen. However, that is pretty sweet. So we've got a military vest, a SKS, and an ump right away. And that's a pretty good start anywhere, honestly. So, like I said, usually it's more mid-tier than this. However, I kind of got lucky, and military vest right off the bat, we'll take it. Here's an M16, so I think we're going to swap out the ump for that. So now we've got a SKS and an M16. That's really good off of that first, there's a quick draw for it. Not my favorite, but right off the bat, right out of that first warehouse, some pretty decent loot. And I have never seen anybody here, so up to the east side of the mountain is a good sniping spot if the circle is closing over here. However, we care about getting more equipment because that's what we're here for. And you can see that we are 1,000, there's some 556, we're 1,000 meters away from the first circle. Here's my first helmet. That's always a good thing to do. You could, if there are other people landing here, you could land on this rooftop. That's generally the best place to start. However, like I said, I've never seen anyone land here. Level 2 helmet now, so we got a painkiller and a energy drink. That's pretty good. It's S12K, so definitely enough for duos too, but like I said, I don't think there's enough good stuff for squads, honestly, because when you're playing solo, of course, you're taking the best of everything. So now I think we're going to attempt to get into this garage-looking structure with the printing presses or whatever they are. There's another holographic. Not thrilled about that, but it's better than nothing. Ton of 9mm, so somebody, if they picked up that ump before, they would have a ton of ammo for it. We are going to switch out to there's an SK or S12K, switch to a level 2 backpack. I see some painkillers over there. There's an level 2 vest, so that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and we'll grab those painkillers, and then I think we'll head upstairs and see what else is here. So, like I said, these are the main 3 buildings. So there's this one, which, like I said, is a good place to land on the roof on if other people are coming in with you. Otherwise, either of those 2 warehouses is also a good place to start because the loot tends to be the best in the warehouses, in my opinion, or you have the best chance to find something good. So there is a military helmet. I think we'll grab the extended mag, and I think we'll swap that out for the quick draw just because I am not a big fan of the quick draw. So you see some pretty decent equipment so far. We're rocking a level 2 backpack, level 2 helmet, level 3 vest. with an M16 as well as an SKS with 2 holographic sights. You're going to check in here. It's always a good idea to check any of the structures. And this is what I'm showing you here, is this is where one of the 2 boat spawns is. So right where I was looking before, when I was looking into the water, there was nothing there. That is where a potential boat could spawn. So you're going to most likely need a boat to get off of this island if you don't want to die to somebody who's sniping people swimming. And that's where you could potentially find one. There are also 2 other boat locations, potential spawn locations, that are south of us, and that's where I'm going to be looking now. So there is one of the spawn locations. Like I said, there's a dock, so you could find boats there. You kind of just have to look. The boats could honestly be anywhere from where I first looked to that dock to the 2 docks that are further south, which we'll get to in a couple minutes. So now we're up to looting this other warehouse. This is another location that's decent to start at. Let's see what else we've got. You got police vest level 1, some backpacks, some shotguns, a pistol or 2. Nothing too crazy in here, though. There's an extended quick draw and a Car 98, though. So the Car 98 I'm contemplating switching to. I think I will. I don't have any optics yet for it, so you could argue that the SKS is the better gun at this point. However, you know, I like the Car 98, and let's see if we can find a scope or 2 for it. So let's go for it. So we've got the M16 now and the car, and pretty decent loot, honestly. Like I said, especially if you're playing solo, if you raid all these buildings, you can almost always find something pretty good. You'll see there's one of the new pistols. There's a compensator for the M16, so that's good for if we want to shoot at range. There's another ump, so just in case you wanted another one. If someone's collecting, you probably have 500 rounds of 9mm at this point. There is a first aid kit. I think that's our first aid kit, so that's a good find, definitely. And I'm kind of just working my way around these buildings. So I think that the best buildings are the ones we started at. However, these ones too could have decent equipment in them. I mean, same as anyone else. Got another extended mag for an AR there. We've got some 7.62. There's a suppressor for an AR, so I think we're going to swap that for the compensator just because we have the car already for those long engagements. So if we're shooting someone from a distance, we're going to be using the Car 98 anyways. So why not have a suppressor for our short to medium range weapon, which hopefully we'll find at M416 eventually, but for now, the M16 is a good weapon too. Definitely better than the ump. So we're going to go out here, we'll check out here, and you can see there's a ton of loot here too. Now, make sure you check all these areas because you never really know what you're going to find. So I think I'm going to just start looking for a boat now. And like I said, I don't see one up here to the north. So what I'm going to do now is I'll make my way to the southern end of the island. It's a pretty big island. And the southern end has some more like shacks, some smaller houses, not as good loot. Definitely start at the northern end where I was. And definitely start in one of the 2 warehouses or that large concrete structure where you can land on the roof. Those are the best houses to start at, especially if there are other people here. So now we're making our way down to the southern end of this island. You can see the other island, the other larger one to the straight south of us here. And look for a video on that soon too. I'll just do another one of these highlight videos, show you what you could potentially get. We'll swap out the red dot for the hollow. There's our extended mag if we wanted to rock double AR, but we already have the car, so I don't think we're going to do that. There's another more 7.62. I don't really need it for the car, but I'm thinking if I get another weapon, if I end up swapping to an AK or something, you know, it's never bad to have 7.62. It's just one of those good ammo types. So, and we're still able to grab pretty much everything else we want. There's an energy drink, so we're great on those healing items now. And checking all these guys because, yeah, there's another painkiller. It's crazy. I think I'm out of room though, so maybe I will swap out that holographic just to make a little bit more room there. And this is one of the other boat spawn locations. So this is the other main one. There's an AK. Should I grab it or not? I don't know. There's a frag grenade. I'll grab that at least. Oh, wait, there's no space. That's all right. So it's looking to see where that supply drop plane went. I heard it fly very close. However, it was still a little ways. It didn't drop anything here, so that's why. And you should be careful when you're doing this, especially because where I was right there outside the house, I was very exposed to the mainland. Now, no one's going to be able to get you unless they have an 8 times or 4 times with a sniper rifle. However, it's just be aware that, you know, you are pretty close to a city across from the across the bay or whatever this is, so people can definitely hit you from the mainland if you're not careful. So there is our boat. It's a jet ski this time. Sometimes this happens, sometimes this is one of the larger boats. This time it happens to be a jet ski. And most of the time, at least one boat spawns. So I said sometimes you will have to swim across. That's not good. However, most of the time you'll get at least something that you can use. You can see the circle is starting to close in, so we'll have to start making our way there. There is the other island that I was talking about before. There is the other island straight to the south. It has a lighthouse, I believe, on it, but it doesn't really have much loot. So I would recommend just staying clear of that one. If you want to explore it for fun, it's definitely not the best place to drop, though, initially. So hopefully this video helps you out. This is an interesting look, I'd argue, at a location, a drop or loot location that most people kind of overlook, because we tend to think, oh, it's an island like the spawn island on the other map, which doesn't really have, it's not worth going to. But I think that you could make a case that these locations are pretty decent to go to, and that you should consider them, definitely. So I'm showcasing that other island with the lighthouse. Maybe we'll drop there for fun. I'll just call it like a fun drop spot, but there really isn't enough stuff there, at least not enough decent stuff there to be able to loot up for the mid game. But hey, we're pretty set, Like I said, solos or duos, pretty decent loot here. Level 2 helmet and level 2 backpack are the only real weakness. Otherwise, we got a military vest. We got that right away. We've got a Car 98. We don't have any optics for it yet, so I guess that is really the main weakness at this point of this build. However, it's pretty good. I mean, it's as good as you'd get for looting a nice quiet spot anywhere. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up to help the channel grow, and consider subscribing if you haven't already for tons more PUBG Mobile content. My name's Derek G, and I hope to see you on the battlefield soon, or in the Discord server, which I'll also leave a link to down below.